Welcome to a new episode of Uncompetent and Inqualified. We have with us Claire on the line. And of course, Will is over there. I probably should have introduced you first. I'm sorry, Will.
You should have. I was a little offended, but you just jumped right to the guest.
Yeah. And of course, I'm Joey, and nobody cares about that. But yeah, I thought so. Our success is taken off so much that I figured I'd open up today's. So a song came on the radio, and do you mind if I obviously can't play it, but I just want to read a couple of the lyrics and just see if you feel like we're on this trajectory, Will. Okay?
Sure. Let's hear it.
All right. You ready? You're going to know this song. I want a brand new house on an episode of Cribs and a bathroom I can play baseball in. And a king-size tub big enough for 10 plus me. That's a big fucking tub. I'll need a credit card that's got no limit and a big black jet with a bedroom in it. I don't know why it's got to be black, but that sounds cool. Gonna join the Mile High Club at 37,000 feet. I want a new tour bus full of old guitars. I don't know about the guitars thing, but my own star on Hollywood Boulevard. Now that. Do you think we're on that trajectory right now?
I'm totally lost. What song is that?
It's the lyrics.
Rockstar. That's Rockstar by Nickelback. I want to be a rock star.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I just never listened to the lyrics that closely.
Yeah, and me either. And then I was listening. I was like, man, that's where we're headed. Are you going to be able to handle that?
I would just like to shout out to our 16 subscribers and thank you for continuing this journey to our rock star status. So I'll just throw that out there.
Was that yesterday?
What?
The 16 subscribers?
I think actually overnight, I think we got one more.
Wow.
I don't know who. Claire. I think Claire threw out a recommendation because judging by the name, it might have been a Claire recommendation.
So we're on pace right now for about 40 subscribers by the end of the year. We're going to have a party.
If we can get to 40 by the end of the year.
Yeah. Private jet. That's what that says.
Okay. Thank you to Claire for our additional subscriber last night because you very clearly that had something to do with you.
Yeah, and so just to introduce
Anytime.
Claire, she is a coworker of mine, used to be a coworker of Will before he quit our company. Yeah, introduce yourself, Claire.
Everyone, nice to meet you. I'm Claire, and I've been working with Joey for a year almost, but I knew Will before I knew Joey, and I've been working with Will for just 2 years, I would say, and they just happened to be my favorite coworkers.
Oh, wow.
An ex-coworker.
Yeah.
I would me personally, just props to Claire. She's one of our most hardworking and she's very smart as well. And I think just Claire, especially being a female and herself, adds something to the male-dominated construction site. Joey, you agree? Is working with testosterone-filled dudes day in and day out with egos and all the BS that comes along with it. Working with someone like Claire can be refreshing. It can be refreshing just for the atmosphere when it comes to the office of construction. What do you think, Joey?
Yeah. No, I'd say everybody loves Claire. All the architects, owners, and the subcontractors, PMs, and stuff love dealing with her. So, no, it's a great asset to have.
Yeah, and it's just a break of the normality and just, like I said, the BS of male-dominated construction.
Now, Claire, we are going to have Daniel on eventually, and he's the same position as Claire. So, please don't watch that just in case we say the same stuff about Daniel. Then you're not going to think it's very genuine. But make sure you tune out for that episode, okay?
I think
Daniel's smarter than me, so
yeah, you kind of.
So you can. So when you introduce Daniel, you can put you can put smart before hardworking because he's smart. He's smarter than I am.
Ooh, yeah,
And it's hard to admit that, but whatever.
Maybe we should have them both do IQ tests, and then we can rank their IQs live on here, and so we can know exactly who's smartest.
That
But
would be a blast to my self-esteem.
regardless, Claire, you're probably more hardworking than Daniel, and that's no slight to Daniel.
Yeah. So you can just say that you don't want to talk about stuff if we ask you questions, but I think it'd be cool to talk about like just a few things. So you came over here for school from China, right?
That's correct. Yep.
And so I know like we've talked about it, but for anybody watching, so like how was that transition? Like when you first came over here, actually let me ask you another question. I don't think I've asked you this before. How was it with like your parents? Because I know we've talked about like you wanting to move out here and stuff like that, but was it always a thing that your parents like push towards you like coming over to America to go to school and to get a career, or was it something that you wanted? Were your parents like okay with it? Like how was that like growing up like once you got into like high school area?
I think my mom wanted me to come to the US for college because just in general better education and also in China the competition is crazy and our family we don't think I have the brain to be competitive back there.
Because you came to the U.S., you're competing with white people, so the competition's easier. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's what I said. I think just thinks the education is better and they're more great universities and that's more recognized, globalized. So that's why. But she sent me here imagining that I'm gonna finish my school and I'm gonna go back and work.
But
I think I like it better working here.
So now, so when you come over, I know we've talked about this too. So when you first come over, you're like on a school visa, right? Or how does that work? And then you get a work visa to continue working. And we've talked about this before. Like, how long do you have? Can you reapply for a work visa as long as you're working over here? Do you have to have citizenship by a certain amount of time, or like how does all that work?
I think the work visa is it's not like something you can just go ahead and apply for it and then you get it. I think it has to be selected among all the applicants. So only X amount of people, everybody that applied can get a chance to even apply for the visa. And then you go through the application and then you're granted like years of work authorization. And then at the end of the 3 years, you can choose to extend it once. So that goes to 6 years.
Oh, only once. You can only extend it
Only once. Yeah.
Oh.
But after 6 years, if you want to keep working in a work visa, then you're back in that whole pool of applicant that needs to be that's
wow.
waiting to be selected.
So you can do it again, but you kind of have to start all over with the process.
That is correct. And you can't guarantee that you can get selected this time. I think I got lucky with my work visa.
Do you think if you're going for a second visa, since you already have that work history in the U.S., do you think maybe you're more likely to get selected because you already have probably a steady job and probably like already invested?
I think they changed the policy. So before, when I applied for it, when I was in that pool, it's like solely kind of luck. And it's like you have a spoon and then you just like randomly spoon some water out of a cup. And then that spoon of water is who can apply.
But wait, why would you be spooning water out of a cup? I'm confused on your analogy here.
That's to explain how dependent on luck it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't have water.
We all know spooning water out of cups.
So if the whole population of people applying is the water in the cup, so you're pretty much saying very few of those people actually get to apply.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like water in a cup.
So I got one more question, then we can move on to different stuff. But so like I know that we've told you before that your English is pretty well, and we in construction we work. This isn't like a race thing. In construction we work with a vast, there's a lot of different ethnicities involved with construction, from Russian to Ukrainian to Hispanic to whatever. And some people speak really good English, some people don't speak English at all, and they use interpreters or whatever. I guess my question to you, so your mom was pushing you to come over from China, so At a young age, did you start taking like English classes in China, or is it something that well, I want to say that you told me this before, like you didn't start learning until like high school, or like when did you start early knowing that you were going to come to America for college, or?
That's a good question. So my mom as well, she's the one that made the decision to send me over here, and she's the one that really put English education at a priority when I was really little. So she was actually my first English teacher back in kindergarten.
Oh,
Um, so she would play me some English videos and then try to have me interpret it. And oh my god, I showed John this once. He found it so funny. Let me remember what's the name of the show. I think basically it's about a family in the USA, and each episode is like probably 5 minutes, and it's all like basic daily conversations. So they teach you how to speak English using all those like daily conversations.
huh.
Hello, did you drop this camera? Is this your camera? Or hello, how do I get to the post office? Just like those. And
So like your basics.
yeah, she will make me watch and she will make me repeat what they just said.
So do you think so I've always been fascinated because I took Spanish 1 in high school and I was like flunking it. Like I just was not retaining. I'm not much for like reading and stuff like that. I can read whatever, but I'm not going to sit down and read a book. And so reading it and retaining it and I was just never my thing. So I actually dropped out of Spanish and became the Spanish teacher's TA. So I started grading papers. Like in the middle of class, I went from
Whoa.
sitting at
You
a desk.
wait. You dropped out of the class to become a TA.
So I went up to her and I said, well, I probably could say her name, I guess. Miss Cabanas was her name. I walked up
Go
to Miss
ahead. Shout out to
Cabanas
Miss.
and I was like, I'm going to fail this class. I'm like, can I just be your teacher's aide so I get a pass or fail? And she's like, yeah, I don't have one, sure. And so I went from sitting in a desk to the next day sitting next to her desk. And everybody's like looking at me like, what the hell happened? And so yeah, so I started grading papers, but so I guess where I'm going with is for me trying to learn a second language was very tough, and I probably should have stuck with it, but I didn't. So at a young age like that, being able to watch like TV shows and learn it like a young age when you're still developing, was that you think easier than trying to learn it at like 18, 19?
Good question, because I actually took Spanish in college too.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
your Spanish is probably better than Joey's.
But
Just for
I
your
found it
testimony.
so difficult. So difficult.
okay,
And first, I don't think I had much interest in Spanish because my mom made me take Spanish too. Because she said a lot of people use this language, so go take it.
okay,
It'll be good for you. But I found it so difficult in terms of grammar, and also I guess vocab is not too bad because it's similar to English. So I think age has something to do with it. And when I started learning English as a little kid, my mom was pushing me really hard, so I can't really cut loose. But in
right.
college, I guess I gave myself like excuse. All right, I'm a grown up. I can do whatever I want. I don't have to learn it if I don't want to. So I just let myself.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I think interest really plays a big part.
Yeah, I think so
And
too.
age.
And
And age.
I know, I'll be honest, like being her teacher's aide and grading papers, I learned a lot more than what I was learning in the class just because I was like going through grading like 30 papers, like reading the Spanish, like the conversions, like it seemed to stick a lot better, just the repetitiveness of
Yeah,
it.
well,
But
wait. Like, how fucked up is that? That hey, I'm in a class with Joey, and I'm in a class. Joey sucks at Spanish. Joey appeals to the teacher that he sucks at Spanish,
yeah,
and then she's sure you suck at Spanish. Just start grading everybody's papers.
yeah.
Like my paper is being graded by Joey, who basically failed at Spanish. How screwed up is that?
No, the worst
That was my
part,
question too. Like how, like if you didn't really like it, and how were you
Yeah, how did he end
allergic?
up grading other
You
people's
the
papers?
TA?
Am I right?
no, but she had an answer template. So like I would just look at the
Okay,
answers.
you weren't
Oh
like
no.
using your own Spanish logic.
I
for
thought you were
this.
going to a different place than that when you first started that comment. And I'm going to tell you, the worst part about it was not that. The worst part about it, there was like two guys on our basketball team. They got to have their grades up. They were pissed that I just walked up there and I get a pass or fail, and they could have done it like the whole time. So they're like struggling the whole time, and I'm grading their papers. Those guys.
Well,
were pissed.
that was the other place I was going to go to it. It's how about everybody else that sucks at Spanish? They can't all become teachers' aides, right?
Yeah, there's only one position available, and I got it. So,
But you know what?
I had my way though. I was like, I remember my senior year, I almost didn't graduate, and then I found out that if you got some of the classes that I got C's in, if I was able to talk the teachers into getting pass or fails for my grades, and I was able to get a pass, that it would raise my GPA. And so I graduated with honors, and my mom was like, how? There's no way. Like, you barely even graduated, let alone with honors. And I'm like, yeah. Like, I got enough teachers to agree to give me, like, pass or fails, which it wasn't a lot. There was, like, I think I needed 3 or 4 of them. But to give me passes, and, yeah. So I was like, wheeling and dealing in high school, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Important
You could have just done the work and got the grade.
That's
But to each their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
I'm just saying, all you youth out there, your senior year, there's still a chance. That's it.
To all the youth out there, this was a few years ago, so we cannot guarantee this will work for you. This is not an endorsement of Joey's policy, and if you end up failing out of high school, this podcast is not responsible.
God, we graduated
We're
24 years ago.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, I don't know if we should be giving you advice on how to graduate high school.
Important lesson takeaway here is if you want something, you just go ask for it.
Yeah,
Because
that
who knows?
is-
Who knows what's gonna- I recently learned this lesson really good. I think if you want something, you just go make a move. What's the worst that can happen?
That's a
Yeah.
great point. 100%.
I tell my kids that all the time. I'm like, what's the worst thing? I will call, I don't care. Will knows this. Like, I'll call customer service 10 times a day. Like, what are they going to hang up on me and tell me no? If I got a problem with my bill, or if I feel like they're like being shady or whatever, like, I'll call them on it. Like, it's a guy over the phone that I'm never going to meet in my life. If I do meet him, I'm probably gone.
Don't get me started on this, Joe. Joey will spend, I've been around and witnesses in Joey's own home, and he will spend hours and hours with customer service, basically just browbeating them, belittling them into getting
not
what he
belittling.
wants.
I don't cuss because then they can hang up. You don't cuss.
You're right. He will walk
And-
that line of
yeah.
not belittling just to keep them on the line to get what he wants.
So I had, this is a perfect segue into this. So yesterday, so last month, my electricity bill was like 3 times higher than what it had been. So it's normally like 100 something, and it was like 400. And I was like, okay, whatever. The girls were home for winter break. Maybe they just, whatever, extra laundry, all that stuff. And so I didn't think of anything of it. And now I got this month's, and it was like 500 something. It was almost like 4 times what it normally is. And I'm like, what the hell? And then, because like when I come home from work, like I'm not sitting there listening for the furnace. If it's on, whatever, and then I turn on the TV and I can't hear it. I don't know. I guess the furnace had been running like nonstop, but I didn't know that. And so I called PSC, and I'm like, dude, this is like BS. Like the meters, your guys' meter's bad. You need to come out and check it. And he's telling me that if it drops 2 degrees outside, that can make your bill go up. And I'm like, what planet are you on? And anyways, we're going at it. Like this was a good match. Like this was a heavyweight fight yesterday. This is pay-per-view style. And finally he comes at me and I'm a scientist. I don't know where the fuck he went to school to become a scientist, but
he threw out scientists.
yeah, I use science because I'm a scientist. And
Yeah, bullshit.
I'm like, I use math because I'm a fucking mathematician. And we're not going to agree. And I'm like, yeah, you want to talk about averages? I'm like, there's no possible way that 2 degrees will make my bill go up that high. And so anyways, I felt kind of like a dumbass when I got home and my furnace had been running. But I thought, no, if that guy was like he is, he deserved it. Like he deserved a phone call like me.
Did you get clarified at least?
He's gonna send a guy out. He's sending a guy out on Thursday to check the meter. I don't know.
Well,
You
keep it
missed-
posted.
You miss 100% of the chances you don't take.
Yeah, I'm worried I'm gonna have to replace the furnace. I'm not looking to spend 10 grand on a furnace, and I don't know. We haven't made that millions yet. Yeah.
I think we're on our way. Like I said, we got, thanks to apparently Claire, we have one more subscriber over the night. Thank you, Claire.
Yeah,
so
thanks, Claire.
we're at a total of 16, so we are on our way to millions.
I go to Cafe Elite, right?
Is it
down
the one
street.
that you go with your wife in Korea?
Shh, Claire, don't talk about that one.
This is not an official endorsement yet. Okay, we are getting no money from Cafe Elite from an unknown
okay.
local
No,
at
that's
this
not
point.
it. That's not it. She's trying to call me out. I go to the Milton Cafe Elite. If they knew that I was going to the White Center Cafe Elite, they would not like me, Claire.
You're blowing this all up, Joe.
I
This is
was-
our one endorsement deal. You're screwing over.
But no matter where I'm at in Western Washington, I try to go to Cafe Elite. Is that a good
Okay.
endorsement?
Quick question here.
Maybe. Yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
So, do you have any plans for the rest of the day, Joey?
No.
So
No,
just
I
stay
don't.
home for the rest of the day, and for a day that the plan's fully just stay home, you're willing to just go out for a cup of coffee.
Like I go out for the coffee? Yeah.
Oh,
That's how
I
good Cafe
I can
Elite
never,
is.
because if the day's plan is just to myself, just to stay at home, I'm not gonna go anywhere.
What?
You can still have Cafe Elite delivered to you, right? There's DoorDash. Like, there's various places that will bring product to you, correct?
I guess that's fine, but Joey's literally like he
Yeah,
has
Joey's
to
not gonna
go out
do
to
that,
get
you're
ready, and then change, and he has to go out, go to his car, and
This is Joey's big day out. This is like the
Yeah.
event of the day. Yeah. This is like his activity.
So even if I'm going to spend all day at home, even if I'm going to do yard work or whatever, or just stay home, I'm at least going out in the morning to maybe go to the grocery store, go to get hot. Like I get stir crazy. I can't just sit home all day. So yeah, like even my days where I'm spending the day at home, like I'm at least going somewhere in the morning. But
for me, if the plan is just to stay home all day, like I can't go anywhere.
Oh,
It'll ruin the day.
that sounds awful, Claire.
Sorry. You don't need to be so restrictive. Like, you can be more general, and you don't need to plan to go out, but if it happens, there's nothing wrong with that either. Right? No, screw that. Whatever. I'm out of touch. Anyways,
I don't know where we
Topics.
went on there. Yeah, so I got this thing that I wanted to see if you could guess the movie, and we'll see. If
is this
people-
gonna be like the song?
No, this is actually you're gonna guess. You're gonna get. I'm not just gonna give it to you. So I was sitting there, and there's a movie that was actually there was a song that came on that was in this movie, and I was like, and it reminded me of the movie, and it was like a movie that I'd only seen once, maybe once or twice, and so I was like, hey, I'm gonna watch the movie, and I'm gonna jot down some quotes during the movie, and then I'll read you the quotes and see if you can guess the movie. Now, if this just doesn't work and you don't like it, then we'll just never do it again. But I thought, hey, this would be cool to go back and see, because these movies are probably going to be from like late 80s to the 90s, and maybe definitely movies that I watched in my childhood that I probably haven't seen since my childhood. So one of my favorites, Tommy Boy. I wouldn't do Tommy Boy because I've seen that a million times. So I guess to see if A, you can guess it, and then B, give like my synopsis of like how it was when I was a kid, and then B, like what it's like now. Is it corny now? You know, am I like, what the fuck was I watching that for, or did I think that was so good for? Kind of like that. All right, you want to try it?
Let's go. Let's do
All
it.
right. Okay.
Claire, you got this?
I don't. Well, when you said like late 80s to 90s, I think I'm already. But I don't even.
That was rhetorical, Claire. You're good. You got this.
Okay.
Can I just stand by and just
Yes.
like go?
So can you
So
still
that-
see me when I pull up my list here? Can you still
I
see my?
see you. I see you right now. Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, and scene. Yo, 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 listen up. Y'all listen up. White bread want to know what happened to Miss Shepherd. Any idea yet?
Claire, I don't know. Claire's on her phone. She's got a better chance than I do. I'm not a movie guy, so
Oh, this is... Okay,
Claire.
No, I
okay, I'll go with the next one.
Okay.
Who are these kids? Rejects from hell? Okay. What if it ain't bullshit? I ain't never had an A before. Okay, now this next one's gonna be
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm letting you down here, but man, I'm not a movie buff,
Okay,
and so I apologize.
these aren't I'm gonna get to the more well-known quotes.
They gotta be
as we
really
go.
well known for me. Probably Claire too.
There's a couple of them that are more well-known. I'm going in order from probably least well-known to more well-known.
Okay. I don't want to let you down here, buddy, but
Yeah,
you're
you
blowing my
might
mind
not get
right
it.
now.
You might not get it, but all right. So this next one is dialogue
Yeah.
between two people. Poetry, yeah. These kids? Why not these kids? hell, hey, go for it. But I've got to find a gimmick first, something that'll grab their attention.
Maybe like
Okay.
Dead Poet Society or.
Oh, you're getting there. You're getting there.
Okay.
Okay, hold
Watch
on.
that one. I watched that one. That poet society. Yeah, I cried. I think.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
But
Okay, this is the
got
last
that.
one before the main one. And then the main one you should know. If you don't know, it's okay because it's a okay movie anyways. Okay, hi.
Wait, was one of them the one with, what's her name? It was teachers. Did one of them have to do with teachers?
It's got to do with the teacher.
And Dangerous Minds.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
You got it. The next quote I was gonna read. The next one I was gonna read. This one you would have got it on. There are a lot of people who live in your neighborhood who choose not to get on that bus. What they choose to do, they choose to go out and sell drugs. They choose to go out and kill people. They choose to do a lot of other things, but they choose to not get on that bus. I will carry myself down to die. When I go to my grave, my head will be high. That is a choice. There are no victims in this classroom. You would have got it on that one, I think.
Yeah, and that was where that's where Coolio, like, didn't he win?
Gangsta's
right?
Paradise.
That was Gangsta's Paradise.
That came on the radio.
Soundtrack.
And I was thinking about it, and then so it was funny because I'm like, oh man, I haven't seen Dangerous Minds in forever, and so I was like, I'm gonna watch it tonight. So I come home, it's on Amazon Prime for free. So I'm like, oh right, I don't even gotta buy it. And I'll tell you what, when I started that movie, and it came out in '95, so I would have been about 11. And when I saw that movie, I was like, man, gangsters, drugs. And then when I saw it, it's like Michelle Pfeiffer might as well be Mary.
Michelle Pfeiffer, that's what I was trying to think of, yeah.
She might as well be Mary Kay Letourneau. Like, half of her stuff is so crazy. Like, the scene where she, like, takes the one kid out to dinner and he's got his new jacket. It's, like, so awkward. And then the other kid... It's so funny. These kids are acting so hard, but once you watch it as an adult, you're like, like this guy Emilio, like the one girl's, you want to get to the class, you got to talk to Emilio, or you got to get through to Emilio. And he's so hard. He's, I'll eat you out or something to her. Like, he's just talking totally crude to her. And 2 days later, he's, okay, teacher. Like, I mean, I'm like, no, that would not work. I don't know.
I have not watched it in my adult life, so yeah, I can't. But I believe you, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty
things were
bad.
different. That was like straight up 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s, like
95.
late 90s, right?
95.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, things were different back then. That was before Mary Kay.
Yeah. She gave out, like Amelia was getting, like, this guy threatened to kill him, and she's still in my house, and, like, she's, like, sitting on the floor with him in her living room, and they're, like, she's drinking wine, and he's sitting there, and he's just staring into it's so awkward. I'm like, yeah, it's nothing like I remember it as a kid. Nothing like
I did have a big crush on her from that movie, though. I will admit that.
Oh, Catwoman.
Yeah, and then
wasn't she Catwoman before Halle Berry? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, she's one of the best. Great. Anyways,
all right,
sex.
So that's all I had. All right, we'll see.
Okay, no, I think that went well. Like I'm so happy I got that because honestly, none of the quotes I recognized.
Yeah,
but just the general, like, all I could think of was that movie plus, I don't know, Dead Poet Society, which I don't really remember watching, but I remember the movie you're talking about, just the general, the theme of it. So.
I was honestly just hoping that you'd seen it because I knew that one about choice, that quote would let you know what it was. But that was good. Yeah. You got it before that.
Okay, everybody, on to the next topic. Joey was nice enough because, Claire, this is our Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah, it won't be Valentine's Day when you see this, but it is Valentine's Day when we're
It is Valentine's Day today. And so Joey was kind enough to let me do some relationship discussions or questions or just get opinions. Joey's not very fond of this, so it had to be a special day for me to be able to have some of these questions, dialogues brought up. And hey, I feel fortunate that I got the approval, at least just for today.
Again.
Yeah, this is it. If you have any curiosity or any interest in relationship discussions or advice, then this is your day. Otherwise, we'll see how this goes. We'll see what kind of response we get. So, anyways, to my colleagues, Joey, Claire, All we're doing, giving just opinions on the subject. You don't need an expertise. You don't have to be like a marriage counselor, or you don't have to be a professional. You don't have to have experience. It's just your opinion on the subject matter that we're all going to discuss and then give our opinions to and see where that leads us.
If you take my advice, you will end up divorced, single, living underneath a bridge.
Great point. Let's just go into backgrounds. I am divorced and I am remarried. I am currently married. I love my wife. We've had our hardships. We've had our successes. We have a great relationship. We deal with a lot of BS, but we love each other. Joey is divorced. Happily divorced. He has sworn off women altogether and basically hates all women.
I'm not going that way.
No, he hasn't gone that direction. Yeah, he has not yet. Yeah, he hasn't taken that step yet, but we can all try to convince him. Claire is just starting her journey into love. We will not delve deeper into that, but as far as I know, she doesn't have a whole lot of experience in the subject. But maybe we can get some basic opinions about maybe theoretically, maybe what she would answer to these questions. Okay. Does anybody else go ahead?
I personally think I'm a good. I give good advice.
Great. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for experience. I'm asking for advice or hypothetically what we'd all do in this situation.
Yeah. So I'm looking at somebody else's situation.
Yes, absolutely.
I give good advice, but
don't we all?
For myself, if it's something that's happened to me, like I'm totally blind.
No, that's how we all are. Claire.
That's why my good coworker, my good friend exists, and they're there to help me.
Who's that?
100%. That's what Joe was asking. Is that Daniel, Claire?
Yeah, your number one friends from work. Is that Daniel? You said my friends Daniel? From work.
Oh, does that include Daniel?
No, is that Daniel?
Are you talking about Daniel? Or are you talking
about you guys?
Okay, thank you.
I just didn't know where we were going with that.
Yeah, wow, it took her a really long time to get that one out there, Joey. It was a good question.
Disclaimer, I process English through, like, it's a two-step process. Well, I'm not a native speaker, so.
Claire is excellent at English. We've worked with her for years. She processes more than she'll admit to. And honestly, it's a benefit when you can just like throw out the language barrier and be like, if someone asks you something you don't want to answer, you just be like, I don't know what that means.
English.
Yeah, don't speak out the English. It's just a benefit that Claire gets.
If I ever go to China, I do know some. Is that Mandarin?
Yeah, Mandarin.
Yeah, Bai Long.
Oh, Joey's Chinese.
That's my Chinese name.
We never brought up Claire's Xijia. We never brought up her Chinese name.
Uh-huh.
Can you correct me? Because I know I screwed that up.
Xijia.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
I think it's tough when PE is with X or J. My name just happened to be difficult for you guys. Yeah.
So if I go to China and they're like, "Hey, what's your name?" and I somehow understand them and I say Bai Long, would they laugh at me? What would they do? Would they kick my ass?
No, I think
it would take 3 or 4 of them to kick your ass, Joey.
They'll be glad to hear that because they would think you put thought into Chinese learning and you give yourself a name.
Yeah, and that means white dragon, right?
Yeah, and it's even better when you know what it actually means.
White dragon.
Damn right.
Wait, Joey's name is White Dragon?
Do you want to be a black dragon? Well, just to match.
Yeah, can I be a black dragon? I'll be a
Halong.
Okay, we got our new names for the next podcast.
Yeah.
So Laura must mean dragon.
It's Black and White Dragon Podcast.
Okay. On another note, see, Joey always criticizes me for attempting my basic Spanish with the people we work with. He thinks it's offensive. However, I think if you try to throw out kind of some words, I feel like, because sometimes I know some basic Spanish when it comes to like construction stuff. And I've just heard you make comments like when I say that, and you're like, don't you maybe think that's offensive? Maybe okay. Let me
No.
correct that. Maybe it's when I use
No.
my English accent to say Spanish words.
No. The
Let's hear it.
problem
Let's hear
is
it.
the
Go for it.
okay. The problem is so like Martillo is hammer or Costco is hard at. You don't say anything else in Spanish. And it's not even the fact like I'll say to the guys like, "Hey, do you have a martillo?" And they'll know hammer. Like I'll just say it all in English and then just say the word in Spanish so they know what I'm talking about. And but we'll go. You will go up to a guy and he'd be like, "Martillo, martillo,"
Oh wow!
and you're
No,
like, pointing at it, like,
no. What?
Okay, settle down a little bit.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Disagree. Strong disagree. Like I took 2 courses of Spanish in high school. So my Spanish, like I can say like how much time till we're done. Like I can say my basic construction work or stuff like that. Honestly, I think what bothered you was the fact that I'll use an accent in my Spanish. I'll be like, or even in my English words.
I don't know.
Maybe that was it. I'll speak some Spanish, and then my English will just have an accent.
I don't remember giving you too much grief. I don't know.
I don't know. You give me a little grief. You're like, hey, don't you think maybe that's offensive when you say it like that? I'm like, dude, like people seem to appreciate when you're, even if you suck at Spanish, like Claire, like if someone sucks at Chinese, but at least they try and they even butcher the Chinese language. They just appreciate when they're like, hey, at least they tried.
I think at that point, I'll be just like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
I think
like,
that's how
oh.
they look at me. Is look at this like sad white boy. He's trying his best.
Just
yeah,
No,
he
I
think
sucks, but he's giving his best.
as long as like I can.
I don't yell hammer at people or.
They look at both of us. Yeah, that's
You're
not
right.
what you're thinking is going through their head. I'll tell you that much. It's like they're not giving us an A for trying. Like they're making.
Well, you're
fun
right
of us.
because most of us.
No,
speak English.
your teacher gave you a pass just because you asked.
Yeah, you're right. Why are we even
Yeah.
talking to you, Joey? Like you
Yeah.
got to pass. You
yeah.
got basically passed on to grading tests because you were too
I
worried.
learned like rojo, azul. I learned them all. Like I'm
You learned red and blue.
Tres Trente, like 3:30 go home, Vámonos la casa. Like I'm pretty much fluent, man.
You learned red and blue, and 3:30. Let's go home.
Pinch a bit.
And look, I'm gonna say 3:30 at home. Let's go home. You did not learn from school.
You didn't.
No,
you didn't.
definitely not. I didn't learn tres.
Vámonos la casa. You did not learn from school.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez.
That could have been from The Offspring, right? Like they started that one.
But then I don't really know the tens, the quincera, I don't once,
Doce, trece, catorce, dieciséis.
Yeah, those guys. But then veinte, uno, veinte. Once we get to the 20s, and then I just gotta say veinte plus the number, then I get back on track.
Okay.
But
So once, doce, trece, catorce.
yeah, those really
true,
fuck with
okay.
me. So I've got some holes in my numbering system,
Okay.
but I can almost communicate it flawlessly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can hear what you say. Because look, the people I speak Spanish to understand English better than I speak Spanish. However, I like to, just because I want to make my Spanish better, I'll try to speak Spanish to them just to make mine better, even though I know I could say it in English and they would understand. Like, I just try to make the effort just because I'd love to bet more bilingual than I am.
Yeah, truth be told, like I know I joked about it. Like I did. I wish I would have like probably stayed in Spanish to Spanish 4 or something to where I could actually put together some sentences because it is a nice asset. Like a lot of our Hispanic guys that are bilingual run circles around us for like safety, meaning just communicating to everybody except of course like Russian, Ukraine, obviously. But they handle about 80 to 90% of our communications between employees, between whether they're just English speaking or Spanish speaking. Now, I wish I did apply myself a little more back in the day, but.
And interestingly enough, like I know a lot of our like Russian, Ukrainian like speaking like they'll know Spanish too. Like it's just a more like just European, just maybe other areas will actually just normally learn more languages. Like I said, like I know Russian, Ukrainian speakers that also speak Spanish fluently, and it's just what's going on? Where did we go wrong? But anyways, okay, let me get to, like I said, Joey gave me this one opportunity for a few relationship questions. So I'm going to make it quick. I'm going to bring them up. Let's just give our opinions and no one's to be judged. I got three. The first two are feed off of each other. I got one, and then I got the alternate scenario of that. And then I got one that we actually talked about on an earlier podcast that I would love to just hear Claire's opinion on. And this is tough stuff. Like, this is stuff you got to think about when you're maybe dealing with that significant other that you have that close relationship with. So I'll get into it. So this is a young couple. You got to take it for what it's worth. But it's something at just being in my 40s that can continue on in your later life. So someone posted, I'm losing attraction for my boyfriend of 3 years. What can I do? So my boyfriend and I got together. He was extremely self-disciplined. He would go to the gym at least 5 days a week, no matter what, whether sick or after work. He managed to fit it in. His hygiene was top-notch, and just his general self-care. The longer we got together, it was like he got comfortable with me. He's gained 30 kilograms since we were together and doesn't stick to his diet or attempt to lose it. He doesn't go to the gym. After walking upstairs, he's winded. His hygiene yesterday, they were intimate, blah, 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 and he didn't shower. Anyways, so you get the gist. Like, basically, okay, let me just rephrase. So you're in a situation, because I've personally been in the situation, like, maybe let me just start since I brought it up. Like, I had been in that place in my life where I was single. I'm a relationship guy, right? Like, I wanted to be in a relationship. I wanted to appeal to opposite sex. Like, I would get my shit together. I'd be like studying, trying to progress my career, being like physically active. And then you get into that relationship and you're there, you get that comfort. And you're like, hey, like, I found this person. And everything else just takes importance, and you just start dropping maybe all those positive habits that you had that got you there. What do you guys think? Is that too vague?
That's why I always hold this opinion. Like, if you're doing something, like you're going to gym and you study or you try to improve yourself, I always think that you should do this to make yourself feel happy, to make yourself attractive to the general public or everybody else out there. Because basically you're just materializing yourself to something that to be judged and to be rated by other people. And if people who like you because of these traits that you temporarily got to yourself, it's gonna leave you when you lose them.
It's almost like you create this version of yourself that you can't maintain, right?
Yeah, so I always think that it's more important to do this for yourself, and you develop a system that you can keep up to it. And in the end, the goal is you become a better self. Not you're doing this to have somebody or to win somebody over.
Yeah, that's fair. That's 100% fair. Okay, Joey, do you want to throw anything in there?
Yeah, I think it's complete bullshit. Okay, so here's the deal. And this is gonna go back, I don't know, I won't get too much into my personal stuff. Like, I have seen both of my grandparents last a long time. I know one of them made it to the 50th. I can't remember if the other, they were close. I think they made it to their 50th as well. If not, they were real close. I've seen my parents who have been married now, I don't know, I think they're working on 40 years. It's funny because, like, they say that the divorce rate is like 50% or something crazy like that. It keeps getting more and more. People, like, so, if she's with this guy for a long time, like you said, 3 years.
Correct.
So,
and they're young. They're young, so
okay,
it's like 3 years.
But it doesn't matter.
Sure.
It doesn't matter. For 3 years, she has been with this guy. She either loves him for who he is, or she is a person on the inside, or she's all about the cosmetics and making sure that he does everything 100% how she wants it. I guess what I'm trying to get is, it's like, you can't date or marry somebody and expect them to maintain exactly who they are and not grow. That's a part of a relationship, a long-term relationship or a marriage, is growing with each other. They should be able to talk about it. She should be able to talk to and say, hey, let's both of us get on a regiment. Don't make it just about him. Put yourself in there too, whoever this woman is. And I would say the same thing if this question came from a man. Talk to your significant other and be like, hey, Like we come home, we don't even do anything after work anymore. Let's go for a walk. And then when they don't meet those expectations, then because you've communicated them, then maybe it's time to break it off or whatever. But I think too many people nowadays, like they hit one little rough patch, and it's like D-Day. It's like, oh, marriage is done. And it's or like people say, hey, let's go to counseling, but neither of them are actually willing to like work on anything. And I'm gonna say, like I was the same way. Like when we were married, I learned a lot through my marriage and divorce, and I got 2 wonderful kids. So people say, oh, do you ever regret being married? Hell no. Not only did I learn a lot, but I learned who I needed to be and how I needed to act. But I also got 2 wonderful kids out of the deal. And one thing I learned is, man, when you're in a relationship, every day is a test. Every day there's something new. And I don't know. It seems like somebody these days, like one thing goes wrong or the guy does one small thing that you don't like or whatever. She said 30 kilograms. I looked that up real quick. It's 66 pounds. Yeah. You don't gain 66 pounds overnight. Like when he gained 30, when he gained 40, when he gained 50, did she have a conversation with him? Hey, we should try to get healthy together. And then, like I say, don't put it all on him. Include herself. Like even if she doesn't feel like she's at fault, let's do this together. I don't know. To me, it feels like we've talked about this before too on a couple of questions that you had. It seems like on these questions, he does this, he does that, or she does this, she does that. I'll tell you what, like in my divorce, I could stand here and say that my ex-wife did 100% of all the shit, but that's not true. I was a major contributor in our divorce as well, just as I'm a major contributor to any relationships that I've had. Like both people contribute. And so anyways, that's my advice or my take.
Yeah, just to throw my 2 cents. I think you guys both actually nailed it on the head. I think Claire is right. I think you got to do stuff for yourself. I think if you're, like I said, I've been guilty of this in the past. If you're making your best self in the purpose of maybe finding someone else, or if you're perpetuating this version of yourself that is only there to attract another mate, I think that's an issue. Like I said, like I've been there, and then I've been in situations where you start maybe seeing the person and then everything goes out the window because like you're seeing them every night or every weekend, and all of a sudden you don't have time to do that workout. All of a sudden you guys are going out and eating all the time, like all that stuff goes down the wayside, and all of a sudden maybe you're just back into maybe the old habits. And so I think Claire's got a great point, just saying that you're right. Like she's right. You got to do it for yourself. That's just got to be kind of part of, if those are the things, if that's a person you want to be, whether it be education, whatever, if that's the person you want to be, you got to be that for yourself. Because if you're just trying to be that for someone else, like maybe once you are in a relationship, that can all go away. And then all of a sudden you start from scratch to where you sold this person a false version of yourself, which really isn't fair to the person. And I think, actually, Joey, I think you're right too, where there's a lot of communication that has to happen along the way, right? There's probably, you're right, like 62 pounds. We're in the US, so we'll use pounds. 60 something pounds. He didn't go from his weight to 60 pounds in a month or 2 months or anything like that. There was like a progression, and ultimately it comes down to communication, right? And I think Joey's got a point, is where people tend to wait too long to be able to communicate that, and tend to, like, I'm sure this person felt concerns and saw the signs a long time ago, and this is 3 years later, and it probably was a 3-year process, right? She said they've been together for 3 years. This whole process has been 3 years, and now she's just realizing, oh crap, what happened?
Yeah, and she's not married, so just end it. That's what, like Claire's right. Like you have to self-assess yourself and look at yourself and say, what do I want to change? I'll be honest, like if a woman looked at me and said, I want to change this, like I've known friends who have been in relationships where the girl has said, oh, you need to do this, that, this, you need to lose 20 pounds. And it's like, no, like we don't get together just so you can change who I am. And that's what I mean. And like I say, this goes together. This goes with guys too. There's a lot of fucked up guys out there that'll really talk their women into doing all whatever, like making sure down weight, doing whatever it takes. There's a lot of fucked up guys. I've had those friends too in the past who are no longer friends. But the choices that you make in life should be your own. And to have somebody like this girl to me is just one of those people she's not good. If you don't like him, move on. Don't sit here and ask questions on how I can change him and what I should do. Like, if you don't like him, you obviously don't like him for who he is on the inside, or else you wouldn't be asking these questions. If you totally loved him the way he was, personality wise and everything else, you wouldn't even be asking these questions. You'd still love him. So if you're only interested in appearance, then move on. But I got news for you. You get married, you have kids, you become parents, you whatever, maybe you don't want kids, but you get older, like, bodies change. So anyways, I've had friends in the past that have either dated women that tried to change them, or I've had ex-friends who have tried to change women, and it's really ugly. It's an ugly thing to see. So that's why it hits home for me.
I guess what I argue is just a slight difference here is that it doesn't sound like they met as such, where they met and then she tried to change. It sounds like when they met, it was a certain situation, and then 3 years later, that situation changed.
Yeah,
I think in this situation, that's where the problem.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to expect that. Maybe not 66 pounds, but
what do
you got to expect that they're going to change. That's what I mean. Like, there's been girls that I've dated where they've got great personalities and stuff, and I'm not with them. Whatever. My main focus is their personality and how they are to be around, how they are with my kids or before kids. Not that, but just how they are as a person. And looks are great too. But but what I'm saying, I don't know. Like I say, she can talk about them doing stuff together to see if it'll work, but you can't point at somebody and say you need to change this and this because and expect them to keep the same exactly how you met him. I don't know. That's just
sure. What do you think, Claire?
I think this should be a fair. If there's something that one side asks from another side, that the standpoint should be the asking side should have the same effort.
Okay. I'm just gonna, and maybe I didn't give that information, but it sounds like the female in this situation, it sounds like she's been in this situation, been maintaining how she was coming into the relationship versus him. So, like, I'll throw that out there, which I didn't give that information, or it's somewhat close.
If she has been maintaining, I think it's fair for her to ask. But Joey also had a point that, like, she could have communicated earlier, or at least talk about expectations when they started dating or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that the guy gained weight, that means he must be comfortable in this relationship, and that can be a good sign, like, if he's being himself. But if the girl wants otherwise, then they need to talk about it.
Okay, so let's just reiterate. I think communicate. I think we can all agree communication's the key here. And like I said, these people are young, so it's probably different. Like, Joey and I are in our 40s, Claire's in her mid-20s, but we're all more toward, like I said, these people are in their early 20s. So yeah, if you're gonna be someone like Joey or me in our 40s, like, I'm married, and
I'll give you a prime example. All right. Now, sure. I wasn't going to bring up personal stuff, but I'll bring this up because I will be the first one to say that, like I said before, I was a main contributor in my divorce. So when we started getting towards the end of the ropes and the writing was on the wall, there was a lot of I was a bigger guy, and I was bigger than I was when we met in high school, obviously senior in high school. And then, 8 years later, 7 years later. Like, we'd had 2 kids and everything, and it was like, you need to lose weight. And so I say that from a person who's experienced it. It's not like that kind of attacking is not healthy. It's not going to make him want to lose weight. It's just going to piss him off. And I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. So anyways, but here's where I'll get to my point. So when I wouldn't say she said you need to lose weight, but it was like, hey, you're way heavier than when we first met, blah, blah, blah. I started running, and I ran for my fucking life. I ran 6 miles. I worked my way up to 6 miles a day. I was running 6 miles a day, and I ran 2 half marathons. There was not enough food in the world that I could take in to gain weight. I dropped like 120 pounds in 6 months. It was ridiculous. And it didn't help. And that's what I'm getting at is like when you get to the point where somebody's like nitpicking and they're nitpicking about your weight or they're nitpicking about this, there's usually more underlying problems.
Yeah.
We had financial situations. I was a complete fucking idiot with money. And I had 2 kids at home with my ex-wife, and I wasn't helping at all by going to the casino and blowing $500-$600. There was a lot of other factors in my behavior, but only a certain amount. So that's like when you read her story, it just leads me to believe, okay, like usually when you start to get to the superficial items, more underlying items that are like really, so what, is this guy going to lose weight? That's why I say if she's not happy with him, just either I guess make a comment if you want, but she just probably needs to find somebody else.
Yeah.
And
You don't think there's like,
that.
and you don't think there, I guess the question being like, is there a way that, because like we said, like, I think we can all agree that just as you get older, yeah, your body changes. Like, you're not going to look like you did at 20 than you did at 40. We can all agree on that. But if someone makes a significant change from 20 to 23 or whatever, do you think there is a way to approach that where you can maybe not send that person? I guess is there a positive way to approach that?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think you approach it as I would like us to start running, or I'd like, hey, why don't we? What? So I had to beg my way in to get in to run the half marathon. I was like, I'll do it, and it's like, yeah, okay, and this ain't gonna happen. But like for that person to come to you and approach you, hey, let's do this. Let's do some training. It'll be good for us. It'll be good for, and then if they don't commit or they don't make changes, then
yeah.
You know,
And just personally, like this is something my wife and I talked about early on in our relationship. And of course, like I said, we met in our 30s. So like we did have this conversation. Like we just kind of had that conversation where we just want to be both kind of people that are with cognizant of health and kind of want to maintain. I wasn't anything official, but it was like, we just both had the conversation. It was like, hey, you're at the stage in our life, like we're agreeing, hey, we're always going to put some effort just into what we eat and our physical activity and just stuff like that kind of maintains what we had when we met. And we both had our ups and downs. But because we had that conversation early on, I think you mentioned that, Joey, it is kind of having that conversation, or maybe it's Claire or both of you, it's just having that conversation early on. It's okay, like everybody goes a direction, we all have hardships and we all have ups and downs, but if you have the conversation early on, and then that way it's already been talked about, and you can be like, hey, and I think Joey had a great point, which is it's just, hey, I've just noticed like we've been having some hard times. Let's say maybe we've been gaining a little weight. Let's start working out together. Let's start eating healthier together. Let's focus on health as opposed to just weight or stuff like that.
Yeah, and please, anybody listening, don't mistake my comment for just end a relationship. It's all about communication, and I'm not saying that you can't have that communication. I'm just saying be careful on how you approach it. Come to it.
This is one of the toughest things about a relationship is these kind of conversations. So we're not talking about like entry level relationship stuff. This is like really hard relationship conversations that like it took me till in my 40s to be able to have. So like I just want everybody to know this is not easy stuff.
No, it's difficult, but no, yeah, that's all. It's the same thing with money, right? How many people in this world have had a conversation about money, and they're like, hey, you need to stop spending so much money, and the other person, whether it's a man or a woman, is I make all the fucking money, and boy, that conversation spirals real quick, right? So it's just
or spending money. Like we both make a lot, you're spending. Yes, every conversation at that high level of marriage is fucking hard. You're right, and absolutely.
But I would say that example would be perfect for you. So not necessarily like gaining weight, but now somebody like you that's ripped out your fucking mind with biceps and everything. So like I think it's almost easier to just try to eat healthy and maybe walk a little bit and maintain a weight. But you literally have to work out every day to maintain your physique. And so I guess my question would be like, let's say you and your wife aren't together, whatever, you're dating somebody, and let's say you stopped working out, and you don't have the same biceps you used to, you don't have the same physique, and she's, I either want you the way we were, or I don't want you at all. But you're done working out. Like, you don't want to deal with that every fucking day thing anymore. What would you say to that?
Claire, do you have a question?
So, was whoever was making that request, like, then I request the same on that person to be maintained. If somebody's, okay, just this, okay, somebody say to me that, if somebody say, hey, like, your workout's not kept up, or the shape doesn't look as nice as we first met, and then I would request the same, like, back at him.
Yeah, and sorry, yeah, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
This effort gotta be mutual and gotta be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've worked my ass off to look like I look.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Sorry,
I guess the point is, no one's expecting you're going to look like you did at 20 or 30 or what. Like, that's not the expectation, is that you're going to look like this forever. To answer your question, Joey, and there's also different things. Like, is there a medical reason? What are they dealing with? Are they really like...
But let's just say flat out, you're done with it. You're dating this girl. You either got your biceps or you don't. And you're like, I'm done getting up at 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. to work out in the morning. And you're just done with it. You want to look in shape, but not... I'm just saying, what do you say back?
Yeah. Okay, here's what I'd say, Joey. If I just stopped working out, period... that would be a significant departure from my personality right now. If I met someone just with how I work out and just how I am right now, and I just stopped all of that, I couldn't blame the person if because I would have changed so much from when we got together. Unless it was something medical. Like, obviously, you guys know I tore my bicep and stuff. I stopped working out for 6 months. So there's extenuating circumstances which are not blamed on the person. But if I'm just like, screw this, I'm done working out, and I just, whatever happens, then yeah, if they met me at that point where I was regimented, I guess I couldn't really blame them. But I guess I just don't see that happening. So
I know,
that's what others said about, you do all of this because it's part of you, because you want to do it.
Well, for me, yes. And that was the difference, I guess. Like I said, like I was talking to you guys about how in the past, like I started, like just for me, like I started working on like a degree, right? That wasn't really for me. I was already construction, like I mean, okay paid, but I didn't really like want to do all that crap for a degree. I just did it because I thought it would make me look more appealing to the opposite sex. That's why I was doing it. And you know what? It didn't work out because I got a girlfriend at the time, and I just stopped working on it, and I dropped out and all that stuff. And I'm just saying, that's the point. Like for me, the working out, the eating, like that's something I'll just probably maintain. But like the thing I couldn't maintain was the education stuff, just because I wasn't in it for me. I was in it for somebody else or something else.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. Nowadays it's just so easy. Like I say, it's like inflation. Divorce rates probably went from like 10% back in the early 90s to 50, 60%. I would be shocked if it was under 70%, to be honest. It seems like everybody ends up there eventually, and not everybody, but it's a lot different than it used to be. And a lot of people will slam me and say, oh, you want them to be stuck unhappy forever? And no, obviously, but it's like people hit the tough spots in the road, and they're just out.
Yeah.
And it's,
you
got to work through stuff in a relationship, like
for sure. And if you've been with someone for 2 years versus 20 years, that's a big difference too, right? Yeah. If you've been with someone for 2 years and everything has changed since when you met him, like that's probably a red flag. If you've been with someone 20 years, like that's obviously is way more understandable.
Well, I'm gonna blow your mind. We haven't even really talked about the guy necessarily.
Talk about this. Okay.
I think
this was written. This was written by the woman.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
I'll say this, and then we can transition because I know we're getting short on time. How fair is it for the guy to not understand how she feels and how close she is to walking out? How fair is it for this guy who might love her still and want to be with her and be stuck in this relationship where she's unhappy and not be able to find somebody that is better suited for him?
Okay. Can I
How
answer
unfair is it for that?
And I just want to add to this, and I know we breezed by it, but there was another element to this, which was just his hygiene too. It just sounded like when they met, he's really on point, and then just as they got together, the shower.
I heard that, but is it
Okay.
like when I wake up on a Sunday and I'm like, fucking, I'm not gonna shower today because I'm not doing anything? Is it like multiple days without a shower? Like I shower every day before I go to work. What is the hygiene thing? Is she like, is it like, oh, it was supposed to be like a casual weekend and he didn't shower on a Sunday morning? So I guess it'd be nice to have more context to what she means by
No, that's a good
hygiene.
point. Because I'm with you, Joey. It's like, Joey, I'm married. I'm just going to throw myself out there. If I miss a day with showering, I'm sorry, but I'm okay with that. Every once in a while, I miss a day. There it is, everybody. But you're right. Like it doesn't.
Sunday,
But what it sounds like is that it changed, and you're right. Like maybe it's probably more that it's like maybe the showers started slipping more combined with the weight loss than just. It's probably just like she started noticing that more as the weight gain happened. It was just overall package of how things changed.
Yeah, free the man, get him free. Free the stinky man to go find his new woman. That's my
But you know,
advice.
like I said, and that's part of it. Is they're young too. As you get older, I know. As you get older, you get more alright hearing that shit. Like you just get more alright with someone just saying, "Hey, you need to get your shit together," right? Like when you're that young, you're like, "Whatever. I don't need to. I don't know." Like
Yeah.
it's just. I think for me, as I got older, like when people are like, when general people are like, "Just something you need to change." I don't know. Just they're probably right. Honestly, if like someone that's like, especially if someone in your relationship has a criticism like of you, whatever it is, they're probably right in some way. Like I'm just saying,
I
like
don't
think
know,
about
there's
it.
some pretty
Like
superficial people out there too.
there are, but I'm
It's
banking. I'm
tough to
banking on the fact that you're like with a good like. I'm banking on the fact that you're not with a super superficial person.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just with clearly you vetted them, they're good people. You're with them for whatever reason. They have a lot of positive qualities. Like you guys have a lot of connection. If there's something that like bugs them about you, you should at least strongly consider it and maybe strongly consider making an effort. If it's not doesn't change deeply who you are as a person, you should probably consider maybe making a concession, at least thinking about what they're asking you. Right?
Yeah, it's communication. It's all communication. Yeah, you got to work. It doesn't just go one way. It goes both ways. But I'm just, like I say, money, weight, stuff like that, you're going to get a lot further than in sitting down talking in a more rash situation and trying to include both of you guys together than just you
Yeah.
suck at life, you're this, you're that. I don't know. And honestly, I think if he doesn't want to get in shape and he wants to stay how he is now, then she shouldn't waste his time. Like I feel like a conversation needs to be had. Maybe they have. Maybe she didn't include that in her post, but I feel like a conversation needs to be had. And if both of them are on two different ends, then maybe it's time to move on and find who's right for their life. But yeah, let's go on to your next one. I'm curious because
I had one
after
more,
this
but
week,
we're at an hour 20.
you better give us at least one
Okay.
more. 'Cause
Really
you won't
quick.
get this
Really
chance.
quick. This one's just for Claire because it's something we've already discussed. It's the AI vows. I just wanted to hear Claire's opinion on: is it acceptable to ask AI to write your wedding vows
If
With-
both
without communication? Okay, say I don't have the whole topic brought up. Here's a brief history of what happened. Like the guy, he said he was just terrible with that kind of stuff. He was getting married, and he could not the life of him come up with wedding vows for him and his fiance's wedding. He asked AI to write their wedding vows. He read these wedding vows to his wife during the wedding. She basically said, "What is this AI? What the F is this? What the fuck is this? Just does not sound like you. It sounds like AI." He basically admitted that she walked out of the marriage or walked out of the wedding and would not talk to him. So, is it acceptable? I guess his wedding, he did okay. Like just to not write your own wedding vows and to ask AI, have AI write that. And there's more to it, like obviously not talking to her about it. But
I think you should at least let your wife know before you actually bring this out to the scene, because she's gonna understand if you're really bad at writing this, but at least you can't let her know that's your plan, and then start from there.
so you can't let her know, or you should let her know.
You should let her know.
Okay. I guess probably with this person, with the woman here, it sounds like he knew that she would not be okay with it. It sounds like she was very like good at expressing her emotion and her feelings. It sounds like he was really not good at it. So he knew that she probably wanted him to make his own vows.
He knows that, like, very clearly, but still will choose to do what she's obviously not okay with, that he has a problem.
Okay, so here's the twist. So basically, and I think this is at the altar, she says she accuses him of AI. He admits to it. She says, "Okay, we're up here. You have 5 minutes to say something from the heart, or I'm walking out." Like she gave him opportunity to speak from the heart of some wedding vows.
Okay.
Or she was gonna walk out, and he couldn't come up with anything.
That's two different questions, though. So, like, yeah, he should have been able to come up with something on the spot. Hell, just say, "Hey, you're beautiful," whatever.
And probably anything at that
so
point.
Those are like
He
two totally
anything,
different
but
questions.
he doesn't have anything that he want to say.
No.
It's just, I don't believe that you can just describe it like he's bad at this. He just.
And the thing is there's so many weddings. Like I don't know how many weddings I've been to in my life. I think maybe once or twice that people have wrote their own vows. Maybe twice. Just off my sample size, I would say.
Did you write your own vows?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't know. Just based off my samples, I'd say probably 70-80% of people probably. I'm gonna guess. I don't
or
don't write their own vows. I would guess they just go through with the regular ceremony. It's
okay,
not
fair enough.
Yeah, to write your own vows is something like people get enamored with. I don't know. I could be way off on that number, but
yeah,
I have no idea. But I'm just saying, like, with all the weddings I've been to, I've only been to like 2 that have said their own vows, and yeah,
you've been
cool,
at least one.
What's that?
So you've been to at least one.
Yeah, yours, and then I think my cousins or something.
But in your defense, like my first marriage, I'm pretty sure I don't think I wrote my own vows.
No, and
so I'll give you that. So I'm 50-50. Like my current wife, we definitely wrote our own vows. But
I would guess that at some point they had talked about this, and they're like, "Oh yeah, let's write our own vows." And if you didn't want to do it, why didn't he just say to her, "No, I don't want to fumble through the words. I'd just rather just go through the ceremony without writing them." Or just saying the traditional vows. He could have approached it differently, but then just to wait till the last minute and write it, that's BS. But
he tried to pull one over on her. Like he tried to just slip him in there and think she wouldn't notice.
Hey, Chat GTP, write a vow for Cynthia and make it really special. Oh, that took some work. But then, yeah, it's his bad also for not being able to come up with something. Like, good God, man.
Yeah, I think honestly where he screwed up was, like you said, when she asked him, like, okay, here's your chance. Like, you need to say something from the heart right here, anything. And he couldn't do that. Like, that would, because I can personally see that. If someone's just, it's like that question, just tell me something you like about me. Tell me something you love about me. If you ask someone that, and I get it can be a hard loaded question, but if someone can't just say something, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So, anything you want to add, Claire? Claire, when it comes to that time, are you going to write your own vows?
I think I can.
You have to now. You have no excuse.
Oh, wow, what a question. That must be like 20 years later. When I have to write my
20 years later? Claire, you're what? 20s? How old are you, Claire?
I'm still young, Julie.
We're not supposed to ask women how old they are, but I'm going to ask. How old are you again?
I'm 37.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Don't worry, you still got 2 marriages
Hang
ahead
on,
of
I'm
you.
not 27 yet. I'm 26 technically still,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'll be 27 this year.
Okay.
Okay. 1 more marriage, you'll be tied for Joey, and then 2 more, and you can be tied for me. Marriages get better with time. You just gotta keep going until you get the right one.
Yeah.
So, what does everybody have planned for Valentine's Day? Not everybody at once. Wow.
Wait,
I'm not
what?
doing anything.
I like that.
Valentine's Day. Anybody doing anything for Valentine's Day?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. I look like we don't have anything planned for tonight. We're just chilling out. But we spent the last 3 days in Palm Springs laying in the sun and drinking pina
Oh,
coladas and relaxing and having a fucking blast. So
you pre-celebrated it.
yes, we pre-celebrated it.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
we had a really good time. We ate a bunch of food and drank a bunch of pina coladas and got a bunch of sun and went in the pool and yeah, just relax.
For
So
like
that's
a bit, when you first started a new job, you took an you took
oh, we had this planned. We had this planned before I started the job.
okay.
Yeah, this wasn't a
That's
recent
very
thing.
nice of them.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't get paid for it, but yeah, they didn't. I don't get to use my PTO for 6 months, but I can still accrue it.
So, let me ask this, and then we can probably head out. Everybody always makes such a big deal about Valentine's Day and this and that. And it got me thinking this morning. I don't know that I remember one Valentine's Day. Does anybody remember like one Valentine's Day where they're like, oh, that was the most special fucking day of my life? You remember like your maybe engagement, your children's births, like you remember all these like special memories. And Valentine's Day is such a hallmark. Oh, it's such a big holiday, especially if you're with a significant other. Do you actually remember any of them?
Oh, I'll finish this out really quick. Yeah, I remember in school when we'd all send each other Valentine's Days. I remember those with the
Oh,
cards
there
and
you
the
go.
hearts.
Yep.
Yeah. Other than that, no, my wife and I don't really explicitly celebrate Valentine's Day, but we just try to spend some time together, do a dinner, do something together sometime. Like we're not present givers. We don't like
Yeah.
we're not big on like flowers. Like we just try to do something together. That's how we choose to spend that stuff. So, anyways, it sounds like
Yeah.
Claire's got to go. So
Thank
we'll
you,
wrap this
Claire.
up. I want to just give a shout out to Andre. Just he's our media marketing person. Just want to throw out, hey, we have a link tree in our bio. We have many social media accounts that you should be able to access from our bio. So we ask that you check that out, click on any links, and
And
we'd
remember,
like
you
to
can
say Claire.
get your
And
Cafe
yeah,
Elite.
we're elite
And
endorsement.
then whenever, if you get your Kirkland water, you get that from Costco. If you're in Pullman, Washington, you can check out the Washington State University Cougars. Is that pretty good plugs, Will?
Yeah, it's great.
that's gonna get us
Yeah,
some
I
money.
hope everybody was, yep, everything Joey said. And thank you all for listening. Please comment, like, put on notifications, do all that good stuff.
Subscribe.
And, yeah, subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time with hopefully another guest. So thank you, Claire. Thanks, Joey. And we'll talk to you all later.